What's popping? What's dropping? This your boy, live and direct, absolute full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how Jimmy J Smooth do. I hear my boy is out the 662. Y'all already know how he do. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all don't, y'all motherfuckers better get a clue. And also, y'all motherfuckers better subscribe to my brother, Craig Smith II. What's popping and what's dropping, brother?
Man, not much, bro. Not much, man. What's going on, y'all? Craig Smith here. Born and raised in 773, relocated to the 901, and put up with the bullshit of 256 and 9, as my boy Jimmy J Smooth said. I'm repping the 662. So y'all know how I do. We got a lot of stuff we need to cover, but before we do that, man, let me add something on here, right quick. Um, we had did a podcast. We did a couple of times. I don't know if everybody had tuned in. Several people had tuned in. We did the let's draw on something thing on Facebook. I call it let's draw on something more. Which is more like what all you didn't get on, basically what all you don't get on here on YouTube. Let's draw on something. You're gonna get more of that, more of what's covered on the Facebook. But anyway, and make a long story short, I think a couple weeks ago, man, I did an episode on what it was like working with pops at my old workplace. But to make a long story short, I'm not gonna say who the person was, but I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna say this. They're a friend of mine. And I still talk to them, and they kind of fucking know better because just because I'm pushed, hey, I'm past. Just because I'm getting older does not necessarily mean that I know how to read between the lines on shit. Uh, if you go and it also ties into what Jimmy and I was talking about this past Sunday. Facebook basically has just changed. Has just basically just took the grown out of grown folks. Look, if you're gonna cheap shot me, or if you're gonna make a comment directed toward me on something, just come out right and just tell me. Because there was a post on there that was said something about, don't recruit others. Some, if I remember correctly, matter of fact, yeah, they're just correct. It said, don't recruit others into disliking the people you don't like. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you how I knew it was me, because when the person that posted the shit, they liked everybody else's reaction except mine. Now, I'm not trying to start nothing on this or everything or what on and whatnot, but I don't do, I'm giving them a pass. But the next time, if they do this, or let alone if anybody on here, whether it's somebody that affiliates themselves with that's one of Jimmy J Smooth's viewers or one of my viewers, if you do it again, ain't no more passes will be given.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Because I'm not angry by it. Am I disappointed? Yes. I'm disappointed in the fact that friend is now there in the position of power. So, power corrupts absolutely, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. As the old saying goes, or as I say, when you attain too much power, you let it ruin your mind, and which causes destruction on all ends.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I mean, if you have something, if anybody knows me, if they have something to say, just tell me, man. Just tell me just tell me to my face. Just inbox me. My phone number has not changed. To borrow something what Greg Jennings has said about his beef with Aaron Rodgers, which I'm not going to talk about that. That's a whole mess in by itself. Hey, my phone, my information has not changed except my mailing address, and I'm not giving you that, but my phone number has not changed, let alone my email address has not changed. So if there's an issue, man, don't go on Facebook, and don't fucking speaking of which, and don't fucking get paint yourself a yellow street and block me or mute me and unfriend me. I ain't got time for that shit. That shit is obsolete when it comes to me, or matter of fact, not just me, with anybody. So bottom line is, man, hey man, you know, don't take subliminal shots.
I agree.
You know, because and you know, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not mad with this person. You know, it's just fact. I'm disappointed with them, and they know better. So with that being said, man, let's get on to the big news, which we got brother Corey Wolf. Big shout out to him. Think about Magic stepping down as the what is the VP of basketball operations, or just the president in general?
President of basketball operations, because somebody else is the general manager. So
yeah, Rob Pelinka.
Yeah, so you know, I think he felt like he couldn't handle the situation, and I think he said if he didn't do something in a certain amount of time, he was going to step down anyway. Which was he kept his word when it came to that.
Yeah, and that's agreeable. I mean, he did do it right. He did do right, and LeBron, and all you Laker fans, hey, LeBron on his own. Oh well, LeBron probably like, well, Magic stepping down. I'm finna become the GOAT. I'm finna go on another team. So
I don't know, because I think he's probably gonna stay in LA, but you know, it wouldn't shock me if he did leave LA. But where the fuck he gonna go at this point? I mean, that's gonna be the question. If he was to leave LA because Magic left, where is he gonna go? I mean, where?
Yeah,
where is true. He gonna go back to Cleveland? I mean, you know, he's already set the foundation for Cleveland. I mean,
yeah, and that foundation is crumbling now because shit, they're back in the lottery where Dan Gilbert probably wants him to be. You know.
Yeah, so I mean, really, where are you gonna go, to Boston? Shit. I mean, where the fuck is he really gonna go? I mean, if he leaves LA, that's my question. Where is he gonna go?
You know, he can't go Golden State because they straight.
Straight.
Maybe the best possible destination for him be New York.
I mean, maybe New York. But they got to do a whole lot of rebuilding. And then I wouldn't want to fuck with them racist ass Nolan family anyway. So I mean, I wouldn't want to fuck with them. So I mean, I'm gonna just be honest with you, because all the shit that they've distribute with the Michael Jackson situation, and then the fuck shit they did with Charles Oakley, then the fuck shit they did with their fucking boxing program and shit like that. HBO. I feel like HBO in the next few years is probably going to go out of business, and it needs to go out of business with the fuck shit they do over there at HBO. But I hope he doesn't go to New York. I really hope he don't go to New York. If he ends up in New York,
let's not forget, man, he was still trying to keep even though MMA was banned for a good minute in New York, he was still trying to keep it away even after the ban was lifted.
Yeah, so I mean, I hope he don't go to New York, but you know, with him, he does not have a lot of places to go in terms of, you know, should I leave the Lakers and shit like that. He doesn't have nowhere to go at this point. So
right,
it is what it is when it comes to that. But shout out to Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson still doing his thing with the Dodgers. You know, I don't know what he's gonna do with that in terms of. But I know, you know, he was like, you know, hey, I don't want to disappoint her in terms of I can't face her, you know, stepping down and stuff like that. He said he wanted to maintain their relationship. And
talking about with Jeannie.
Jeannie, yeah. And the thing with that is, you know, Magic is always going to be respected. That's the thing, you know. Magic is a Leo. So if he can't put his best foot forward, pretty much Leo's a step out. You know, he did what a Leo is gonna do. So I mean, you know, I think he did the best he possibly can. I think he tried to get other people, but you know, it was like one of those things to where he don't want to piss off the fans and stuff like that. He knows he knows the consequences of the Laker fans and stuff like that. So he was like, shit, I don't want to disappoint these fans. These guys been been with me through my entire career. So let me just go on and step down and, let's stay friends. So I think that was his best route, and I'm not disappointed in Magic. Magic did what Magic needed to do. So, continue to run Magic Johnson Enterprises, continue to run the Dodgers, or whatever else he's associated with.
And really, I think he's doing a damn good job with the Dodgers though. Because I mean, it was like he made some good moves, but they failed to deliver. Okay, because last year's team. Let's be honest here. Last year's team, man, could have won the World Series. Yeah. As deep as they were on both ends of the ball. I'm not a baseball guy, but when you got one of the hottest pitchers in the league in LA,
yeah,
and then the guys, then the second and third string pitchers are about the same level as dude too. I mean, wasn't no excuse for the Dodgers not to not to at least win the World Series.
Yeah, I mean, especially against Boston. Now against Astros, they were going up against a hell of a team with the Astros.
Hell yeah!
But with the Boston, they should have closed it out against the Boston Red Sox and stuff. So it is what it is, man.
And then I give props to Boston, man, because hell, dude, the manager they got, young dude, man, young dude about your age. His first year win the World Series.
Oh yeah,
because they said the man made moves that, because he said he had like a guy that I talked to on Facebook. Excuse me for trying to muffle because I'm still trying to wake up, folks, because I messed my hair up and it took me a little power nap before I got on the show. But a buddy of mine I talked to on Facebook who's a Red Sox fan. He said he liked him because the dude got balls. He make balls. He makes some little ballsy ass moves, and game management and stuff like that. So, I mean, like you said, can't take nothing away from him. With the Dodgers, it is what it is because they faced the Astros team that was when they played the Astros. I'll be honest with you, if Boston don't win it, I think the Dodgers they can take it, man. If they don't have no setbacks, no injuries or whatever. But you gotta watch Philly. So Philly, don't count the Washington Nationals out, even though they are Bryce Harper-less.
Oh, and you never can count out the Astros because I think one of the reasons why they did make it the World Series was injuries, because especially among our hitters. Our hitters could not score goals. It had nothing to do with the Boston's pitching. It had more so to do, these guys had significant injuries that play a factor because when you're dealing with 120 mile per hour fastballs and shit like that, and you're trying to hit the base and you already coming off a back injury, a shoulder injury, all types of injuries that's going to play a factor, that's going to make a difference in how you hit the ball. You know what I'm saying? And I was noticing how these guys was hitting line drives and hitting fly balls out the park. And, you could just see that these guys was hurt, you know what I'm saying, more than anything. So I think healthy Astros could be dangerous as well. But I digress when it comes to that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so you want to roll with the topics, man? I know you got something you want to talk about.
Let me go to my sticky notes so I won't forget. Go to my sticky notes. Where are my sticky notes? Right here. Shouldn't take but a hot second. Okay. I didn't mention this the last time, but Coach Cal is staying at UK. I feel like Coach Cal probably made the right decision. I think Coach Cal made the right decision by staying at UK personally, because it would have been too hard. Now. Say what now?
Rick Barnes too.
Yeah, Rick Barnes made a good decision, but that wasn't, to me, it was a no-brainer decision for Rick Barnes because it would have been too much pressure on Rick Barnes, and Rick Barnes made a hellified mistake that would get fans, because they'll fucking fire you at UCLA for any goddamn thing. That's my thing. And with Rick Barnes, I think Rick Barnes made the right decision because Rick Barnes already got a good recruiting class coming in Knoxville, and he's done a good job of recruiting in state. As well as in the border states as well. So I think Rick Barnes, why would you leave something you've already established And then he got a big 6'10" white boy who won the state championship against Knoxville Bearden. Even though I felt you motherfuckers got too many fucked up calls in the state championship game against East, he is a good player that's coming in for Tennessee. So I think Tennessee could possibly be a Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four team if they can get their shit together. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you now, the Tigers is coming for y'all in Knoxville. Goddamn it, we coming for you bitches. But as far as UK is concerned, Calipari is a nationwide recruiter, and his main area of recruiting is pretty much the East Coast, Chicago, Detroit, that little Midwest corridor. And it would have been hard to get big name guys to come all the way from the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to get a New York guy to go to Kentucky. It's easier to get a New York guy to go to Duke or North Carolina. It's hella hard to get him to come all the way to UCLA. Even though Kareem did come from played high school ball in New York. At that time, everybody wanted Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You had teams that was willing to segregate just to get Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Because to me, in my personal opinion, he was probably the first real true blue chipper. You can argue Oscar Robinson, because Oscar Robinson was a highly recruited guy, but nowhere near as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and UCLA just happened to get him. You know what I'm saying? Because you had racist ass Adolph Rupp, who's probably one of the greatest coaches of all time. Racist ass Adolph Rupp was trying to get Kareem Abdul-Jabbar because he was willing to integrate. That was one of the players he was trying to integrate with. Because after he got his ass whooped by Texas Western, he was like, shit, I got to get me one of them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So, Kareem, went all the way to UCLA, but pretty much UCLA was pretty much a no-brainer for him. You know what I'm saying? So where the way Calipari recruits, it wouldn't have made no sense to go all the way out there to try to get people in your base corridor. So he made the right decision by staying in his base corridor. Is he going to deliver Kentucky another national title? That's going to be hella hard to do unless he does some type of coaching adjustments. I think they'll probably...
Which is hard for him to do.
Yeah, and I think he'll do some type of... I think he'll get to a Final Four, but I don't see a championship in the near future for him unless... he has a recruiting class that's like the Anthony Davis type recruiting class. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I don't see him getting another championship. He might get one more, but that's gonna be he's gonna have to do a better job before he gets another championship. You know what I'm saying? You got anything you want to say to that about the UK, him staying at UK?
No, I mean, that was expected because, like I said, I'm be honest, I was skeptical when he said something about that. It's been my life, the normal, the shit coaches be saying, it's been my lifelong dream to stay at this school. It's been this and that. Yeah, no, all that, no. I was skeptical about it at first, but when Kentucky came calling and gave him that lifelong extension, that was a good thing for him. And then and Rick Barnes, he was playing around too. And see, coaches and this is shit that make me sick with coaches also. You need to stop fucking playing around and shit, trying to be all quotational and all this other shit. I'm extremely okay, like the Chris Mullin situation, which we're going to talk about in a moment. It was something Rick Barnes had said on there. It was just, and you could tell that was very fabricated what he said. Making an extremely emotionally hard decision. The fuck, man? Just gonna come out with it. Just say, well, hey, as much as I like, just is it hard to ask for a coach? And I understand coaches are grown. But is it hard to ask for them just for once to be grown these days? Just come out right and be fucking honest. And just say, well, hey, I'm flattered UCLA is interested in me, but I want to stay at Tennessee. That's all he could have had to say instead of all this dramatics and shit, man. I mean, damn. Just get tired of shit. But, I'm glad Barnes is staying too, along with Kevin Sampson, because you and Corey Wolf both said that the dude was going to be going to Arkansas. And I said right off the bat, and I told you right off the bat, I said, If Fertitta backing up that school, he's staying. Regardless of what and I told you, and did I not tell you that? I said, regardless of what y'all think, if Fertitta matched it, whatever Arkansas was offered plus some, he's staying. So guess what? Kevin Sampson staying, and then they got the son as the coach in waiting at Houston. So, I mean, which is a good thing too. So, Houston fans, hey, be expecting Kevin Sampson to stay there for a long, long time until he decides to say, hey, I'm handing over the reins to my son. I'm stepping down. I'm retiring. I'm finna enjoy myself.
Correction. I never said that on air that he was going to go to Arkansas. I never said that. You can go back to the archives and show. I said there was a possibility, but that was off air that he could go to Arkansas because who they were associated with. Because the fact that they were associated with Walmart and Jerry Jones, there's a strong possibility, but I've never said that on air that Kelvin Sampson. I specifically said that it would be a dumb move for him to go to Houston. I mean, to leave Houston with all the talent that they have, because Houston replenishes itself in every sport. So if you can't find what you're looking for in Houston, then there's a problem. And it would have been dumb for him to try to go. It would have been dumb for him to go to Arkansas because number one, he would have had to recruit, just like this head coach that from Nevada had to recruit, is going to have to recruit his ass off. He's either going to have to come into Texas, hope that he get a good Oklahoma player, hope that he get a good Missouri player, hope that he can find somebody on one of the border states. He better hope that he can find some recruiting, because not too many people is going to come to racist ass Fayetteville, Arkansas. Not too many people is going to come there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a Memphis kid, but that's going to even be hard to do. You know what I'm saying? Being that Mike Anderson is gone. You know what I'm saying? Mike Anderson had a gateway to the Memphis recruits. But what ended up happening was when Penny came in and a couple of other people come in, a couple of other SEC coaches came in, he was unable to recruit in Memphis. So with the new head coach at Arkansas, I can't think of the guy off the top of my head.
Eric Musselman.
Eric Musselman. He's better recruit his entire ass off. And I mean that with no quotations or whatsoever. I mean every word I say. He better recruit his ass off, because if not, you're going to have the same problem that Mike Anderson has, because at Arkansas, you have to recruit, and mainly you're not going to be able, unless you go to West Memphis, because West Memphis typically has recruits because it's so close to the Memphis metropolitan area, and a lot of those guys, when they go into summer camp, basketball camp in the summer, they typically go to Memphis. But other than that, you're going to struggle in Arkansas, because Little Rock, every once in a while, I'll say every 3 to 5 years, they probably produce a blue chip, maybe a 4-star recruit. And that's extremely rare. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So with that being said, Musselman is going to have to recruit his entire ass off. And I think Kelvin Sampson made the right decision. And also with that Houston contract, it's incentives as well, because it could go up to $6 million a year, $6.5 million a year. And that's depending on if the University of Houston end up getting to the Final Four. He could get incentives if they end up going to the Elite Eight. Or if they ended up in a championship game, he can get incentives as well. So he's getting paid $3 million, but that doesn't include that don't include the possible salary increase if he takes them further in the tournament. Just like Calipari. Calipari is almost at $10 million, if not already, because of the tournament incentives. So his salary is more so tournament incentives more than an actual base salary. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So that's what they're giving Calipari and stuff like that. So it is what it is. Congratulations to Musselman. I hope he knows how to recruit. Musselman. I hope he recruits his ass off. So it is what it is. Another topic I want to get into is Mick Cronin. Mick Cronin was hired at UCLA. How do you think that hire went?
Whoa. One word. Wow. That's all I gotta say. Wow.
I don't
I
think that
mean,
system. I personally don't think that system is going to work. The Mick Cronin system going to work unless he speeds it up. And
yeah, and then
typically,
and look, judged by like how he is, personality wise, he seemed kind of flaky as hell. It might work, you know. Shit. But okay, now who Cincinnati gonna have? And well, more likely, no guy like Cronin, he'll take his assistants with him. But he got another task ahead of him too. Cause hell, like you say, UCLA will fire your ass over anything real quick. They'll fire you, but they'll fire you if you got the wrong, if you don't have the wrong, if you don't have no shoelaces in your shoe, you know. Uh Shit, just wow. That's all I gotta say. Wow.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's going to work. And I personally don't think that's going to work for UCLA. I think he's probably going to be there at max probably 6 years, and
Mm.
that's contingent upon him getting them to the Final Four, which I don't know if he can do with that offense because he struggled to get Cincinnati past the second round. So I mean, number one, he's better lock down everybody in California. All the Mr. Basketballs, he better lock them down first of all. You know what I'm saying, to give himself some leverage. And two, he's gonna need to change that system altogether because if he try to play slow down basketball, the fans are gonna be on his ass. And if they get
And
put
now
out,
that and now that you mentioned it, I mean cut you off. Now that you mentioned that, his offense, like I said, is hit and miss because like he'll complain about Cincinnati's little MO at Bob Huggins mainly was when Bob Huggins was there. It not only was his full court press, but what was the secondary MO? 3-point shooting, right?
yeah,
Okay. Now Cronin was known to bitch about that. Even though if his team shot, because like one game his team shot like 6% from 3-point range for the entire fucking game, and he had something bad to say about that. I'm like, dude, is you happy about y'all asses won the game and ain't like y'all shot 63% from 3-point range and y'all lost?
yeah.
He like I said, Cronin is a weird cat to me. He seemed like a good guy, but he's a weird cat to me, man, because it's like, I rather put like this. I'd rather complain about the fact that my team shot 7% overall from the floor, 60% for 3-point range, and we lost, than complain about the fact with us winning. What you got to complain about? Be happy. Shit.
Yeah, Mick Cronin is extremely weird, and I want to know how the fuck Cincinnati lose 2 hours down the road on Interstate 70 goddamn 5. I mean, how the fuck you take basically a home game and you lose in the first round, which Cincinnati should have been in the Sweet 16, and that's another thing. When the NCAA rewards you with a home court advantage, you need to take advantage of that home
take
court
advantage of that shit.
Because you were 2 hours down the road, and they could have easily had your ass in Kansas fans is shitty, aka Kansas City. They could have easily had you all the way out the way, but they didn't. They rewarded you because they felt like the Cincinnati fans deserved the home game, and y'all fucked it up. So my thing is, he needs to do a better job of taking advantage of home court advantage and shit like that.
He really does. I mean, that's his little flaw too. But other than the fact, like I said, he's weird as fuck. You gonna complain that your team shot a whole lot of threes and played defense and whooped the other team's ass, then to complain about them not losing? I'm like, damn.
Yeah, he's ultra weird in my personal opinion. He's really ultra weird in my personal opinion. So it is what it is when it comes to that. Now, Chris Mullins leaving St. John's. What is your point on? What is your point of view on Chris Mullins leaving St. John's?
He shouldn't have took the job in the first place. But I think he gonna go. He either gonna probably just step down. But like when you and I, what we talked about off the air, he did the best he could, because he found out that his brother had died from cancer and stuff like that. But what got me was that they said in the Big East, St. John had really the best team in the Big East, and them fools lost 8 of their last, I think like 8 of their last 11 or something like that. And they barely got in the NCAAs, and they messed around and lost in the play-in game of the tournament. Yeah, it was time for it to step down. And really, I don't know who run this shit up there at St. John's, and I guess St. John, St. John is one of the most highly publicized universities in New York, and maybe it's a private school as well.
Yeah, it's a private school. It's a private school, but with them being in the Big East, they're very lenient on kids getting in because the academic standards is not as hard as if you would in another private school outside of the Big East. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why you see guys, top quality players going to Big East schools. They're private, but they have a lenient towards athletes. Now, if you're just a regular Joe Blow trying to go to St. John's, that's not going to work. But you know what I'm saying? I digress. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. But in actuality, though, when that job, whoever they had fired last, when that job had became open, I thought they would at least went after Mark Jackson. But somebody in that brass was high up on Chris Mullin. I'm like, wow. I mean, Chris Mullin and Mark Jackson both came out around about the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So why you just couldn't get a job to Mark Jackson?
I don't know, man. But with Chris Mullin, I don't think that man was ready for the job. Me personally, I'm just gonna be honest with you, and I don't know if he should get into coaching. I think he should stick to management or something. And
he really don't need to do that. He need to shit. He just needs to stay away from basketball. Period. Because after that fuck shit he did to Stanford when he was running Golden State. They said he really wasn't a good GM though.
That's either here or there as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I mean, but if I had an opportunity to take Mark Jackson, I mean, if I'm St. John's, they need to go after him.
Hell yeah.
Now he is religious, but St. John's is a fucking Catholic school, so that'll work for him. To be honest with you. And then he's been in Catholic schools all his life because he came out of a Catholic high school anyway. So that'll work for him. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Being at St. John's and being at a private institution. And looking up, I didn't know he played on that St. John's team that made it to the Final Four with what's that dude named Bill Whittington and Chris Mullin. They had a little squad going on. Because Bill Whittington was a decent bench player in the NBA. So but Mark Jackson should get the job. He deserves a head coaching job somewhere. And if I'm a college coach, I'll hire Mark Jackson. And I think St. John's need to hire Mark Jackson. And St. John's haven't done too much since the Mike Jarvis situation. And the way they did Mike Jarvis was completely fuck shit because they said, Mike Jarvis didn't commit any infractions, but his assistant coach did. And it's almost like they held him responsible for that because they were getting to the Elite Eight, Sweet 16s every other year. And, they won the NIT championship, in which they had to vacate and stuff like that. So even though Mike Jarvis did not recruit in the New York metropolitan area, he did get some top quality recruits nevertheless to St. John's. You know what I'm saying? So the problem with Chris Mullin is he did not keep a lot of New York talent home. He did not keep a lot of New York metropolitan players home. And that can be hard to do. I'm not going to even lie, because when kids looking at schools like Georgetown, looking at schools like Villanova, looking at schools like Duke, North Carolina, and Kentucky come knocking their way, it's kind of hard to keep everybody home, especially the top echelon of the people. You know what I'm saying? Again, the Big East is lenient towards on as far as academic standards for athletes, but it becomes you got it. But with St. John's fans, especially hometown, any kind of hometown team in terms of basketball, you got to get those guys. There's no excuses out there. So Chris Mullin made the right decision by just simply stepping down, man. So, hopefully the next coach that comes in, they could get they can get top quality players. And I think Mark Jackson will do a good job of getting top quality players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
And then him being a New Yorker, he knows what it takes. He knows what it's like to being a New Yorker because he went to high school there, he went to college there, and spent a little bit of time with the Knicks and stuff like that. So he played on all three levels in New York City. You know what I'm saying? So I think he knows the foundation. And then, with them saying that Mark Jackson is religious, that'll work for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That'll truly work for him. So,
because if I was St. John, I hit that man up right now.
I would call ABC and say, hey, he can do his NBA Finals commentating, but once you finish up the NBA Finals, then come on down. And it's not going to be hard. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. It's not going to be hard for him because he is a relatable person. Even with the Golden State situation, the players still respected him, man. They still missed him and stuff like that. So, yeah. The thing is, Mark Jackson should be the number one person on that list that they can hire, that they're going to hire. It shouldn't be anybody else. It shouldn't be you should not try to dig up Lou something. I can't think of the guy's name. You shouldn't try
Lou Carnesecca.
Don't try to dig him up because he damn near pushing 100. Don't try to dig him up from the grave. He's already in the Hall of Fame, so leave him in the Hall of Fame. Don't try to get no lame duck to try to take over the team, man. Just stick to what you know and get Mark Jackson. Bottom line. You have anything else you want to talk about on that?
No, that's about it. Oh, and a side note, I remember you said something about incentives. When your boy Karl Anthony Towns signed that extension, right? He's getting a nice little piece of change too if he makes the NBA if he makes the All NBA first team this year. Because they said if he makes it, on top of his base salary, what he getting for the year, the man gonna get $31.6 million extra if he makes the NBA All First Team.
Oh, that's good. That's good because
I'm like, damn.
Well, lately he's been beasting. I can't take away his latest of the stats because since Jimmy Butler left, he's had to take a shitload of work. You know what I'm saying? Him falling out with him, he had to take the workload, and he's been producing. I can't even knock what he's been doing. He's been averaging 20 points a game since he got in the NBA. Unlike he was a scorer, unlike him being at Kentucky, where he was mostly a defensive, put that guy, put trash guy. So now that Calipari's not making him, stopping him from shooting the ball, he's doing a good job because he has a good inside out game, good shot blocker. And if I'm Golden State, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm Golden State, I might want to look at him if DeMarcus Cousins don't stay. If I'm a lot of NBA teams, I would look at him. You know what I'm saying? So, you might have to drop off that money, but hey, I think he's worth it at this point. I think he's and I think he's matured. So
don't get no money to Wiggins.
Oh no, don't get that motherfucker shit. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker don't play no kind of defense whatsoever. That nigga can score all day, but he can't play any kind of defense. So
he ain't got no heart.
No, he a hoe. Shit, let's just keep it 1,010. He an entire hoe, and you got all that size. You 6'8", got all that size, and don't play no kind of defense.
No, he's 6'5".
He's 6'5".
I think they say he's 6'5". If he listed at 6'8", okay then.
He's listed at 6'8", but yeah, he need to cut that bullshit out though. So it is what
as that quote you borrowed from me, he a hoe.
Yeah, he an entire.
Hey, you fading down your mic, brother.
No, I'm saying you may as well subtract those 19 points. That's what they need to do.
Yeah.
So it is what it is when it comes to him. It was another topic I wanted to discuss. Oh, the national championship. I almost forgot that motherfucker.
What's your thoughts on that shit? One word to describe yesterday's national championship, Jimmy.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That was some bullshit. Congratulations to to the Cavalier faithful, but I'm gonna be honest with you, hoes. Y'all motherfuckers got the benefit of no calls. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Y'all got the benefit of no calls because all them goddamn offensive rebounds y'all was jumping over them hoes, backs, and every goddamn thing. Especially on that one play in the first play of overtime, where dude had perfect position, boxed the guy out, and those motherfuckers called a foul on Texas Tech. That was some goddamn bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of, I don't think it was as bad as Duke, but I think it got halfway there. I don't think it was as bad as Duke UNLV, but it got halfway there. I'll tell you that. It was halfway there because some of those calls, I think had they gotten some of those calls, you wouldn't have won that national title. You just got the benefit that you got the benefit of the doubt on those motherfuckers, those missed calls. But one thing I can say that Cavaliers, and I said, y'all will not win a national title unless y'all score. And they tried to, and let me tell you something. Tony tried to slow that shit down, but the way Texas Tech defense operates, they couldn't do it. They had to score. You had to you had to score every bit of those 85 points. If you had a play
what's wrong? Something up with your mic, bro.
You said something wrong with my mic. Hold on.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it was a little bit staticky because when you was talking, you was like, you was express point about Tony Bennett, like Tony Bennett's done this. That's how it was.
Okay, but with that being said, Tony Bennett tried to play that slow down shit, but Texas Tech wasn't gonna let him. I think Texas Tech should have ran more of a full court press more than anything, but they ran a half court press, but pressure.
Yeah, your mic messing up again.
What the fuck is wrong with my? Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, Texas Tech should have pressed more. They should have made them speed up a little bit more, put them in a position to where either they were going to score, they were going to break the press, or they just not going to score at all. So they should have put them more in a position. Now, I think they did a great job of using the Bobby Knight version, which I call the 5-out motion offense, which typically the motion offense is 4. I would, if I'm Chris Beard, I would lean toward the Coach K version, which is the Hank Iba motion offense.
Yeah,
I would lean toward that. He just didn't do more, but I think he used more.
Fix your mic.
He was what is going on with this fucking mic? But can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He should have used more of the Coach K. He should have used more of the Coach K motion offense more than the Bobby Knight's motion offense. What do you have to say about the championship game?
I was shocked. I was just shocked. And when Texas, and I basically was on live, I was multitasking. I was on live on Facebook with my boy Trey Murphy, if you will. When you said that they started using the 5 and out, and that's when I responded. I said, yeah, it was too little too late for that. Because they should have went ahead and started using that a little bit early on them. Because that's how they was getting back. Excuse me, that's how they was getting back in the game. They should have went ahead and used that early. And then went back and then kind of mixed it up a little bit. But yeah, Virginia was getting away with no calls, true enough. And the only thing I did, like, what's the coach's name? Tony Beard?
Chris Beard is for Texas Tech. Tony Bennett is for Virginia.
Okay, Chris Beard. And I like the fact Chris Beard, made their ass score. So Tony Bennett need a fucking wake-up call. Look, bro, you're going to have to score because this 80s Princeton shit is not going to work.
No, it definitely
So
not going. That slow down
he,
shit is definitely not going to work, and he need to ask his dad on how to play offense. God damn it!
yeah, because I said before, say it again. The great his Tony Bennett's dad, Dick Bennett, even though he did use that little suffocating defense at Wisconsin, Milwaukee. I think it was either Wisconsin, Milwaukee, or Green Bay. One of them. I think Wisconsin, Milwaukee. That's what it was. They had a fire ass offense, and Tony Bennett was the fucking point guard.
Yeah,
So I mean, and you know, and he should know better, man.
yeah.
So I gotta say, you know, I'm happy for Virginia for finally getting their first one in the men's program. But let's be real here. Y'all not gonna win another one next year if y'all don't score some points. So it is. That's that on that. But I'm happy for them. You know, I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm happy for Virginia. I'm happy for the school, happy for their fan base and everything. You know, that puts a little bit more money in his pocket, in Tony Bennett's pocket. Maybe he can go ahead and pay off that house that he got up in Virginia, in Charlottesville, where he living at. You know, but Virginia gonna have to, I'm not gonna say, but however, Virginia's just gonna have to learn how to start fucking damn points. And when I get some money, I did say that if Virginia scored more than 80 points, I had to eat some more of them wings.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh yeah.
it is what it is. Also, man, got a couple of I did want to cover that. Got a couple of questions, man. A couple from the fans. I was busy pulling up.
Go ahead.
Okay, Roderick. He has a question for us. He didn't say where he was from, and the subject had a headline was Bret Hart situation. He said, "Hey fellas," he said, "I was listening to you guys the other night, and and Craig had mentioned something about Bret Hart in the Sunday episode of the Jimmy J Smooth Network. In light of what happened to him at WrestleMania, in light of what happened to him at the Hall of Fame when he was attacked by a fan that got in the ring, has there been an instance?" And he's asking, and this is a good one. He said, "Has there been an instance has there been an instance at the job where, at any places of your employment, where this was similar instance like this occurred?" I guess he's saying, and also in a subtle way of saying, has it been one? And will we have done what old boy did when he punched old boy in the face? Because I did show you the video of what happened to Bret, didn't it?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Now, for the record, old boy has been accused he's from Nebraska, and he's been accused with trespassing and 2 counts of assault. And the judge asked him, "Why did you feel the need to attack a guy, a 62-year-old man?" And he said, in the quote, he said he felt it was the right moment. Okay.
Really?
Really? Okay. So he asked, has that he was asking one of us, this question for both of us, has there been instances like that, whether it was in real life or at a place of employment, where where something like this happened?
Yes. Several different
Go
times.
ahead. Go ahead.
I'm here. Several different times. We've had an incident sometime, no, about a couple of weeks ago. We had an incident that happened on the job. So, yeah, that has happened. That's happened quite a few times. That has happened. And the outcome wasn't always pretty either. I'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the perpetrators got a rude awakening and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, it's been multiple times where I've seen something like that. What about yourself, Craig?
Well, yes, and then I wanted to do what old boy did. What big shout out to Dash Wilder for that, because Because I think I also sent you the video when the wrestler Dash Wilder, when he punched the dude in the face, knocked the man out. There's been an instance. There's been an instance at our old employer where I seen it happen. Guys, and not with me, but guys being escorted, escorted and stuff off. Like you said, not but to be honest with you, I've seen some not pretty situations myself. Range from my time at UPS and especially at FedEx. Now, hey, I will admit there have been several that deserve to get what was deserved, had gotten what was coming to them. I've seen some dudes get clocked in the face. I've seen man, was that one time at FedEx? I seen the dude get kicked in his jaw. After he was escorted, and security didn't do nothing to him. And I'm not saying who the guards were at the time. That's neither here nor there, and they're going to remain anonymous. But that they have, as we say, receipt. Them perpetrators have gotten, like you said, rude awakening. Them perpetrators have gotten a receipt. So yeah, Roger, Jimmy and I, we have seen a handful. So
yeah,
but let me tell you something. If old boy wouldn't have tried to jump Booker T and Stevie Ray.
No.
He wouldn't have been saying that would have been the right moment. He would have got his ass whooped in and there.
Oh yeah. Because one thing I know about Houston people, we stick together, goddammit. We ain't like any of these other cities that don't stick together. So one thing about Houston, especially if you had brought some people from the South Park, we stick together, hands down. You ain't finna come in our city and disrespect anybody from any side of town. You know what I'm saying? Right. You better ask T.I. Shit. You better ask T.I.
I heard.
Houston stuff your ass out. You know what I'm saying? Talking this shit about Lil Flip, man. And, he caught them hands out here. And I love you, T.I. No disrespect, but hey.
Can he perform in Houston? Nah, still or no?
I think Dre Prince kind of gave him a pass after that, but one thing about us, like Tariq said about LA, it's like that out here too. We the masters of catching motherfuckers slipping. And that's what happened with the boy, man. So yeah, I think he cool, but just don't talk about our people. He made a mistake right there, man. You coming into Houston and thinking you big and bad, you know what I'm saying? No, we don't get down like that. You know what I'm saying? This is before I even came to Houston, but I've heard the story from multiple people out here, because word goes around the street real fast, you know what I'm saying, out here. So it was like one of those things where, they caught him at one of the gas stations coming out of his limousine and they beat the shit out of this boy, man. I don't know what side of town, but, that's confirmed out here. You know what I'm saying? So, that, he definitely would have did the Harlem Heat like that because there's too many gangsters out there. They come from the hood,
Yeah.
I would take my chance in third ward and fifth ward before I take my chance in South Park. So it is what it is.
Yeah. And every South Park got them hood guys. Well, I know South Park in Huntsville, South Parkway. That's a suburban there. That's a little suburban area where all like with the hospitals and shit like that going up the mountains lead to Owens Crossroad. Other than that, I stayed like on the north. I lived on the north side of town in Huntsville. It has some pretty rough areas, man. Especially like I said, Maston Lake Road. Oh man, there's always some shit going on over there.
Oh yeah.
And if anybody live in Huntsville, know what I'm fucking talking about between Maston Lake and Winchester. And in fact, Winchester Road. And in fact, you remember that video 3 years ago with all them guys that was pointing guns and shit at each other, that mannequin challenge?
Yeah.
That happened in Huntsville.
Okay.
So, and when the guy told me, he said, man, that shit happened in Huntsville. I was like, what? I said, yeah, because I was working at the little UPS thing at the time. He said, no, man. He said, man, not too far from up there. Not too, almost when you, because he told me, like, on Winchester, like, if you go down past Winchester Chester Road, almost tore like going over over Maston Lake almost. That's oh man, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, man, he definitely would have did one of our people like that. He would have.
Hell no.
He might have been walking out at the nearest medical center in Nebraska somewhere. He
Or something.
might have had to airlift him to the University of Nebraska hospital, fucking around with us, man. So it is what it is, man.
Yep. All right, got this other question here. I try my best to refrain from answering FedEx questions live on the podcast, but I'm gonna go ahead and ask. This comes from what's this chick name? Jamila.
Mm-hmm.
I thought his name Camilla is Jamila. And she said, hello guys. She said, I have a quick question for either one of you that may want to know. About a couple of years back, I was overhearing and listening back to an old show in which Jimmy was talking about how he dealt with leadership, particularly out there at FedEx, as well as Craig. And as well as the fact I also saw on a group on a group in Facebook of a video that Craig put out talking about rampage and etiquette. And wanted to ask you guys this. She said, I'm currently dealing with a dilemma in which a ramp agent feels the need to express too much power by wanting me to. And I'm reading like it is. When basically she's saying, and I'm getting the gist of this question. Said the ramp agent is trying to basically sabotage her.
Yeah.
She said, man, like for example, I made one mistake. He held me, and they held me accountable. And the next night I go check out a tug. They tell me park the tug and you go and work the slide, until I don't need you anymore, until I don't need you anymore. So it's what she wants to know from the both of us. Does the ramp agent feel the need to express that power? And if so, is that too much power? How do we and what's the best way she could deal with that?
She need to either go to her upper management or what you call it, GTO that shit? GTF?
GTF.
GTF that shit. Because that sounds like a form of harassment. And the thing about FedEx, you need to be the first, you need to deliver first strike on that one. Because if they're doing you like that, if they're not giving you a fair chance in terms of making a mistake, I get if you dropped a can or hit an airplane or some shit like that. Okay, you're not gonna get nothing on that, but you're not gonna get no one chance to do that. That's understandable. But if neither of the two had happened and it's not in the employer's handbook, you need to GTF that shit. That's my best answer for that. What is your take on that?
I agree. I mean, that's why I say I can see the only thing that happened. Because I mean, let's face what you said, Jimmy. Maybe the violation probably could have been the sheet. And I didn't ask her. I didn't email and ask her what was the mistake. I've seen tug drivers get taken off tug by rampages for closeout slip mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I bullshit you not.
I
agree. Because they forgot to put the time on the motherfucker. Damn. That's just borderline petty. Okay, but if you mess around, if you hit the turbine of the plane or drop the can or whatnot or whatever, I mean, yeah, I can understand them taking kind of giving you a pass for, kind of taking you off the tub for about give or take. And I'm gonna be honest with you, by right, if you drop a can, you ain't supposed to be off that tug no more than 2 days.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm gonna tell you, Jamila, but if they fucking you over, like the fact, and kind of in the gist of it, I think, you read between the lines, I think they said they probably trying to take off for right now. Do like what Jimmy said. You might want to go Matter of fact, don't go to upper management. Go to HR first, and then you get a guaranteed fair treatment on that shit. Cause I'm gonna tell you something. Managers talk to rampages about every fucking thing there is. You know, they'll tell you your business. They'll be talking to the rampages about what's going on in somebody's home life and all this and that. You know, that's all part of professional etiquette. You ain't got no business talking about another employee's personal life. That's and to me, when you cross that line, I always say when you cross that line with me, you got a bullet, you got a barrel of a gun pointed at your head. You know, figure of speech, not a real gun, but people get them adrift. But to answer your question, I agree with Jimmy said. You know, don't not just up. Well, matter of fact, you can step on some toes. Talk to the find. Yeah, matter of fact, yeah, step on them toes so hard, break them. Talk to your manager's boss. Talk to the senior manager, and then in the power play move, you talk to HR. That way you covered on both ends.
Yep.
Cause I'm gonna tell you this here. Most of them senior managers had your back, and if you defy them, and put like this, and if the manager of the rampage defy what the senior manager say, that's on their ass. Cause I equate that to in the service, if a captain tell you to do something, you do it. Yeah. Whether if that sergeant doesn't like it or not. Matter of fact, no, if lieutenant tells you to do something, you do it. Lieutenant outranks the captain and the sergeant. That's basically what Jamila, what you dealing with. Senior manager is the lieutenant.
Yep.
Your manager is the captain.
Yeah.
The rampages are the sergeants. So when regardless what the captains and the sergeants say, it's lieutenant's word over theirs.
Yeah.
And so if your senior manager say, yeah, you back on the tug, you back on the tug because I say so, do what she tell you.
Yep.
Do what he or she tell you. And the manager don't like it or whatnot, or the rampage don't like it. Hey, because that happened to me one time when they're talking about when you ain't got no business on the tug. I said, well, hey, take it up. I said, take it up with the senior, bro. She right there. They couldn't say shit.
Yeah, so if it's a major problem, then you need to either talk to the senior manager or, you know what I'm saying, hopefully you ain't did nothing to the extent to where you damaged one of their material, because then that would definitely be understandable. But if you didn't, you need to GTF that shit ASAP, or to your senior manager, especially if you got a relationship with your senior manager, because senior managers will get on asses. And one thing managers don't like is when the senior manager give them that phone call. I've seen it too many times. I've had this pretty much the same senior manager, on the exception of me being on night side. I've had the same senior manager for practically my entire duration of the Memphis World Hub. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
So when he got on somebody's ass, then that's it. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is when it comes to that. Any more questions, brother?
Yeah. On that note, I had 4 cool ones, man. They're all pretty cool. They stay. I'm put like this. They'll get on the rampage's ass before they'll get on the manager. I've seen it happen. I seen that shit happen though. Let's see what other questions we got. It might just be the only 2. Okay, here was another one. This is another work related question. Damn, everybody trying. These must be some young cats sending these questions, want to know how we can handle stuff. I mean, that's good if we got a younger audience listening. But let me tell you something. If you're 17 and under, you better have your headphones on so your parents won't hear some of this shit. But just playing. But hey, each his own. You'd be surprised who the listening audience is. Darius. Darius from Memphis and he put in the subject under my email, personal. Okay, this way. When I read the question to you, man, you're gonna see why he headlined it personal.
Yeah.
Uh, he said, "Hello, Jimmy. Hello, what's up, Jimmy? What's up, Craig?" He said, "I listen to you guys all the time. Share your experiences about at times when you guys were at different jobs and workplaces, and how you dealt with people. I have, and I need to seek." He said, "I really need to seek some advice from two straight grown ass men." Okay. He said, "I'm really dealing with the issue right now that with a person at my job." He didn't say he told what the jobs is, but so to protect where his integrity job, I'm not gonna say the name. He said, I'm dealing with a person at my job right now that's really just is borderline just fake. We don't get, we don't see eye to eye on everything. And I have personal issues with her because she always says she does this and does that, and she never does. While me, on the other hand, I bust my ass mostly every day to try to get where I'm at with no recognition. Now, as we speak, she's in position of leadership, and with all the credentials I have to be in leadership, am stuck into where I'm at. It has gotten so far to our personal heat has gotten so far to the point that my boss has told me, and I quote, just tough it out. Okay, I got an issue with that one. Just tough it out. What should I do at this point, Darius? All right, let me handle this one.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And then you can chime in. Darius, again, there's a thin line between professional courtesy and personal courtesy. Okay. And getting the gist of everything, it seemed like that this young lady that you having some issues with, you know, it seemed like she may have gotten under your skin. Okay. And I believe the young man, he did state he was 17 going on 18, working where he works at. This this young lady has basically gotten under your skin. That's understandable. Because you asking the two right guys this question out there, what you need to do in this regard, and we're gonna tell you what you need to do. Don't whoop her ass. And in a way, I have to agree with your boss about, on the fact about you just have to tough it out and work with it. Here's why. Um, Sometimes and it's been said that the people that don't get along at work are the best when working. Okay, but at the end of the day, Darius, you don't, when you clock out, hey, you ain't got to go home to her, make love to her at night. You ain't got to go out with her, or her little set friends. I'm pretty sure she has a clique at her job that'll go out and want to do the town or whatever. You do you, like, and you stayed on here. You 17, you're going on 18. Um, I have to agree with your boss. You just got to learn to tough it out. But this is also a lesson. This also prepares you for things to come as you get older, when you have to deal with older people in these type of situations. I've dealt with plenty of them and shared some stories. Jimmy dealt with plenty of them. Oh, he got plenty of stories. I'm pretty sure he got one. I'm pretty sure he got a story to share after I have to say what I got to say on this one. But man, I'm not. I'm not taking up for your boss. Only thing we don't want you to do, we don't want you to get fired. You have to mess around, put your hands on the girl or whatever. Now, if she mess around, she says some fuck shit, like if she takes some cheap shots or whatever at you for no reason, yes, you need to say something to her. And also, yes, you need to go back and tell your boss, hey, I just said something so about uh her saying things about me to my face, or behind my back, and I let her know I'm just tired of it. tell your boss. And if you got an HR or whatever, or if you don't have a local HR at your job, you can call them, leave them a voicemail and let them know what's going on. Let them know the business, and they'll get on it too. So you ask how we deal with that, how would you deal with that? There you go, right there. Just do what your boss asks you. Just work with her. But however, if it gets to that point where you can't work with her anymore, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta start working against them. You're gonna have to just try to go somewhere else, or go to, worst case, your job, try to go to another shift or whatnot, or see if you can come, or or whatever, or go to another area. That way, you work, or put it like this: whatever area you part of the area y'all work in, she work one side of the area, you work on the other side. Then if it's time for her to come on your side we work at, you go on the side where she work at. It's all about just keeping the peace, man. And really, it's it's too much, personal. You can't let your personal feelings about a person cloud with your profession. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Okay. My first question to this guy is, and you can probably answer this off air, young man, or inbox me, at the Jimmy McWright at Gmail. But the first question would be: have you tried to set up any kind of conflict resolutions with this individual? Because sometimes the best way of settling a problem is usually you're going to have to. The best way to settle a lot of problems is normally communication. And sometimes we get so caught up in our feelings to where we dismiss communication and stuff like that. So that's first and foremost. So if you would inbox our boy Craig, if you would, man. But if you haven't set up any conflict resolutions, main thing is communicate the problem. And if you couldn't communicate the problem, then your best bet would probably be to go to HR on her and stuff like that. Tell her, she's creating an environment of hostility in this work group, and you would like to be
unsafe
moved.
work environment.
Yeah, basically an unsafe work environment or hostile work environment, however you want to phrase it. You know what I'm saying? But I say the first thing to do in a lot of situations is, let her know what time it is. I mean, I'm not saying you got to cuss out. Sometimes the first thing you need to do is you need to talk to somebody calmly, unless it's an extreme issue. Then I think that's when your anger should get the best of you in that situation. You know what I'm saying? If it's an extreme situation. But if it's a minor issue, be like, hey, what can we do to you know what I'm saying, subtract this hostility? Because hey, I don't want to lose my job for saying something to you I ain't got no business saying, and I don't want you to lose your job. You know what I'm saying? What can we do to settle this conflict right here? Because I ain't got time for all this. If you can't talk to an individual like that, because a lot of times people will get their mind rights when they said that. I've tried that on a number of different occasions when it was about to go down. Because I remember one time I was in the Houston main library, and me and this dude we about to throw hands, and I'm like, you know what we got to do what I got to do to settle this conflict right here. And he told me what was his feelings was, and I went on about my business. Granted that there are armed officers in the public library in Houston. You know what I'm saying? And this is when I first came to Houston. But the thing is, first and foremost, you want to communicate to the person. If you can't communicate to the person, talk to management. If not, go to HR. As simple as that, and get that resolved. Try to get them to move you or whatnot. So it is what it is when it comes to that, man. So you're gonna be all right, brother. So you're gonna be all right, and just take those steps in if you haven't already. So it is what it is. Do we got any other questions?
No, and let me add. I mean, he seemed like, from the sound of it, hey, he's 18, and reading the question, I can tell you, he's a little angry and stuff like that. Maybe he did try to resolve conflict, because I tell you like this here, I've tried to resolve conflict with lots of people, you know, and I did it the good way. And it was just like, you know, just like whatever, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and motherfuckers still do the same thing over and over. Hey, and Darius, I'm gonna tell you another thing. And like Jimmy said, you can either hit him up or you hit me up. She probably seemed like them ones, and Jimmy, and when I say what these types are, you and I know you dealt with one with several. She probably seemed like the type of ones that'll say some fuck shit behind your back. Then when you confront them, they're gonna apologize like they ain't mean no harm, and then turn around when you gone, they're gonna turn around and say some more fuck shit about you.
Yeah, and that's the type of person I wouldn't want to try to reason with anyway. If it's that on that kind of level.
You
So
know, because that's a I call them lion chicken, a little chicken shit. You know, and I don't deal with chicken shits. But but you know, like Jimmy said, try conflict resolution, man. And then other than that, if all else fails, step on some toes, like we just told this the young lady Jamila. Step on some toes, talk to the boss, go to HR, and let them know, hey. So,
agreed. Totally agree with that.
yep. But man, I did talk about the St. John thing. No more questions on that one. But this LeVar Ball situation, man. I mean, everything the sports world was just fine, not hearing his mouth till this street nigga motherfucker of a parent opened his mouth to say that LaAngelo is a better player than Zion Williamson. LeVar Ball, I'm gonna tell you this: if you don't sit your broke buddy, don't if you don't sit your yellow tooth, broke buddy brand Payless shoe business having ass on down somewhere and sit down and shut the fuck up. Cause you know you already under fire as it is after my boy shout out to Ticket TV by the way for reporting it. You know, you gonna say losing 1.5 million ain't nothing to you. Yeah, the reason why it ain't nothing to you is because it's Lonzo's money. And if you read the comments on that video, Jimmy, I kind of agree with what one dude said. It said, hell, him and old boy been in on this shit all along. And man, he had a whole bunch of thumbs up and likes and comments on that statement right on along right there. And I believe it. Look, man, if I'd have said it before and say it again. If there's some parents out there that is like LeVar Ball, if there are some parents out there that is like LeVar Ball, living vicariously your child and all this other shit, and you talking shit, you don't want your kids exposed. I mean, his track record speak for itself. He got his son exposed at UCLA. Okay, and what his son and what Lonzo been doing since then? 37% from the line. I mean, and they go talking about he taught him everything you know. Okay, what has Lonzo Ball done? What type of NBA career has Lonzo Ball had? And from what I've heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, he rode the bench, right?
I don't know if that nigga even had an NBA career, but it's from mine. I could be wrong. I don't know. I personally don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't followed him like that. That's my thing. But go ahead.
Okay.
Bro.
Well, let's just say he don't have a career. Okay, he fucked his oldest boy shit up. Then turn around, he put the house. You all right, man?
Yes, I'm good, man. Keep talking, bro.
Yeah. Then he turned around, he put the house where the parents are living it in Lonzo's name, so Lonzo can make the payments. I'm like, what kind of shit that is? And everybody applauded that shit. That's not that. No, you don't do no shit like that to your child, man.
No, you don't do anything like that, man.
You
No.
don't do nothing like that. Then turn around when and for once I did have to side with I was 50-50 on what LeVar did with LaAngelo. Yeah, them motherfuckers got caught in China stealing. But one, you didn't give You just basically just told your son, no, well, he can't go to UCLA, period. And it was a reason. Because Steve Alford didn't do his fucking job, what he was supposed to be doing. So, yeah, LeVar Ball had every right to chew his ass out on that shit. So I do give him props on that. But on the other hand, you just basically going to tell your middle son, and the middle son, and from the highlights I seen, the middle son was a good-ass player.
Yeah. Yeah, he was
pretty good. He was pretty damn good. He was a small forward with that had an in and out game and can pass. You know, now I do agree with LeVar about getting on Steve Alford's ass about that shit, and then Steve Alford clapped back at him in the most way that got him riled up. But what I did not like was the fact that LeVar just could not let LiAngelo choose whatever school he wanted to go to. You know, because USC was down the road. What other college in LA could have been close by to Chino Hills, California?
It's so many in that damn area.
It's so many. And hey, he could have played 2 years at a community college, at a JUCO college, and then went to USC.
Uh-huh.
That's what LiAngelo did, but no, LeVar took control of that shit. And then what really pissed me off the most was what he did with LiAngelo. Dropped the man out of 8th grade of school. Basically just killed this man's eligibility by having him go play pro ball over there in Lithuania. Now this man ain't got no direction. This dude would have been in the 10th grade this year. I'm like, man, I cannot stand parent. Yeah, so what? I'm not a parent myself. Big deal. So what? Let's just put that out there.
Uh-huh.
But I cannot. But it pisses me off that these fuck parents do this type of fuck shit to their damn children and think the shit is okay, and then they get fucking mad when people talk about it. We got every right, if you want to get mad at yourself, because shit stinks and the truth hurts. Man, I wish if I had basketball talent or whatever, man, I wish my mother and father did some shit like that to me, what LeVar Ball did. Man, that woo.
Yeah, but I think with him not letting LiAngelo go to college, I'm talking about after the Steve Alford situation. I think he made the right decision by completely removing him out, because you don't know how.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. I agree with him on that one. Removing him out.
Yeah, because those other colleges, you never know what those other colleges up to either. So, he made the right decision. Now the youngest boy, I have a problem with how he did the youngest boy, because he was highly recruited. You know what I'm saying? And could have been a blue chipper had he not pulled him out of high school. So I think he should have left him in high school.
He pulled the man out of middle school. I'm like, damn, the man ain't even graduated 8th grade yet.
Hold on.
He would have been a sophomore in high school this year. Coming up year.
He's 17. Yeah, he's 17.
So he would have been a junior.
He either a junior or a senior, depending on It depends, because some schools got programs now to where
they can graduate early.
They can graduate early, so it would be depending, because his birthday is in the summertime, not the. So he'll be 18 this year. So yeah, he's
okay. Yeah, he probably would have been a senior. Yeah.
But this recruiting class, the recruiting class coming up, he would have definitely been. He definitely would have been in the top 10 in terms. He definitely would have been McDonald's All-American. So he should have left his career right where it was. That's my thing with LaMelo.
Yep. So when it comes down to it, LeVar Ball basically fucked this kid's career up, man.
Yeah.
And then also, Ticket reported, and he was hot about this shit. LeVar cost Alonzo over $15 million in endorsement deals, and then he could have had a shoe deal. He could have had a shoe deal with Nike or Under Armour. So if he get with Nike, that's his money.
Oh, and
so
yeah. That's him. Here's the thing. His son was ranked number one in this year's recruiting class in the state of California. ESPN, he was ranked number 2 as far as point guard. In 24/7 Sports, he was ranked number 4 in his position. So yeah, man, he had a 5-star son on Rivals and on ESPN. So yeah, he fucked up his own building. It is what it is. Hey, that's crazy. That is crazy.
No, right?
Yeah.
And that just pisses me off. That parents like that today think that's cool. Well, if he want to be in charge of his son's career, that's his business. No, that ain't his business. That's not cool. Shit. He living through his children, and a parent ain't got no business living through their child.
No. Your job is to give guidance to your children, not live through them. That's the main thing. When you're mentoring somebody, your job is to guide them, not live through them. So it is what it is when it comes to LeVar. And LeVar just shouldn't shut the fuck up about fucking Zion. Come on, dude. Zion is on a whole nother level compared to your son. Hell, Lonzo ain't as good as fucking Zion. Let's just keep this 1,000.
Hell no.
Dude, sit your ass down somewhere, dude, and put some poly grip to your goddamn teeth or something. Shit.
Shit, that mother needs some arm and need all combinations. Arm and hammer, poly grip, every damn thing.
That boy, man, it is what it is when it comes to this. You got anything?
Everybody needs something, everything. But no, man, we done covered everything what it is today. Playoffs starting, what'd you say, Saturday, Jimmy?
It's supposed to be Saturday. I'll look through ESPN. It's supposed to be this weekend because everybody's last game is this week. I know the Rockets' last game is today. I think everybody should be completing their games at least tomorrow. Because Golden State got one more game, so it should be tomorrow. ESPN, just not NBA playoffs. I'm gonna go through that real fast, but it should be this weekend for sure. Because once the regular season ends, it should be that following Saturday. So yeah, it should be this week. So
yeah.
Talking about
so there's gonna be some exciting playoffs this year, man.
Yeah, so right now everybody who's playing tonight and tomorrow, they're basically playing for position in the playoffs. Did the Detroit Pistons win tonight?
I don't even know.
Okay, yeah, I know they were down big against the Grizzlies, and then they came back and took a 1-point lead as we started this show. I'll just say yes. The playoffs should start this new year. It should start either Friday or Saturday because everybody's last game will be tomorrow for sure.
Yeah,
they haven't already.
And damn it, they need to start. And with the finals this year, they need to stop scheduling that shit the way to break down like a Monday or Wednesday or a Thursday and a Thursday. Hell, have a fucking Friday game on there. We want to watch. Well, no, a finals game was on a Friday. I'll take it back.
The Friday
it was
last year.
They need to have some on a Saturday, man, for real. Skipping over shit.
Well, sometimes the travel factor comes in. I say sometimes it'll be a travel factor as well too. So I think I don't know how. Well, we gotta wait and see what everybody do because this could be a long playoff if everybody go to a game 7, and it could be a short playoff if people consistently getting swept. So it is what it is. But
yeah,
The Rockets is up on OKC by 12 with 8 minutes to go in the third. Utah is beating Denver in the fourth quarter. Still got a lot to go to play. Detroit did beat Memphis. Charlotte beat Cleveland. So yeah. So everybody's playing right now for playoff position. So
the city of Cleveland.
Yeah. So yeah.
My little Bone Thugs and Harmony impersonation.
Yeah, and I don't know how the standings is going to be, but how the standings is. But I think if Denver loses tonight, I think
yeah, they trying to say Denver trying to tank.
Yeah, I think if Denver loses,
Denver don't need to do no shit like that, man. Because they gonna be a set. When I was listening with I watched First Mistake. They say they can tank all they want to. They still gonna be stuck with the second seed.
Yeah, but I know for sure Houston controls the head-to-head because they beat them 3-1 in the regular season. And that was the first time Denver beat them in about at least 4 years, from what I understand, because Houston has pretty much dominated the head-to-head matchups in the last 10 years. Been a couple of times where Denver swept them, but for the most part, Houston pretty much dominated them head-to-head. So, and this year, they only won one game head-to-head. Denver has. So, with Houston, I think Houston may squeeze in that position, but I don't know how they're gonna seed everybody if they lose tonight. So, we'll see. So, do you got anything else before you leave?
No, man. I'm looking at these standings right here. So right now, damn. It's telling you, hey Google. So Boston got the 4 seed wrapped up. Come on. So more likely Milwaukee gonna finish the best record. So the playoffs is looking like this: Bucks, Pistons, Raptors, Magic, Sixers, Nets, Celtics, Pacers in the East.
Yeah.
Damn, come on. I'm trying to scroll down and right now and shit. I'm trying to figure out why my phone is just retarded. So I don't know. I'm trying to scroll this shit down, and you looking on Google and shit. This shit takes so fucking long.
So it's 4 games from the Warriors, so they would.
And then looking at Detroit, they last 10, they lost 7 out of 10, so they 3-7. Orlando was the hottest team at 8-2. Pacers been fucking off, and they last 10, they were 3-7.
Yeah. The Western Conference is pretty much set. It's just who's gonna be in what position. That's the only thing that's going to be the question. Because 6 through 7 has identical records, so it's going to be a matter of who's going to be in what position. That's all that is. Because the Clippers could end up playing the Rockets. San Antonio could end up playing the Rockets. It's who's going to be in what position.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it right now. Golden State, Golden State in their last 10, 8-2. Denver's they last 10 is 5-5. And I haven't noticed Denver has been tanking some games, man, because they supposed been tied for a minute. They was tied with Golden State.
Yeah.
Houston is 8-2 in their last 10. Portland and Utah 8-2 in their last 10. So if the playoffs were to start now, we'll have the Warriors against the Clippers, Nuggets against the Spurs, Rockets and the Thunder, which would be a no-brainer. The Rockets will win that one, and then the Trailblazers against the Jazz.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. Jazz versus the Trailblazers, but
that'd be a good one. Shit.
The Rockets will shoot. It's gonna shoot the Thunder out of OKC.
Mm-hmm.
Golden State is gonna clip the Clippers. So I mean that's gonna be easy work. Denver, San Antonio, I can't count. Pop,
Can't count out Pop, man.
Yeah, that's
even though they're depleting, they can't count them out.
Yeah, I give them a 6.
Two straight years they didn't. Hell, they ain't hit 50 wins again for the second season in a row. So
I'll give Denver a 6, and it's gonna be a very close 6 games. But yeah, that's one of those games. That's one of those games. If the Nuggets end up with that position, hold that position, with Pop, that's gonna be Pop gonna bring all his firepower out. I'm gonna tell you that now.
Yeah,
I say that's a 6-game series if they end up. But I think if just so happens, depending on how they're gonna do with the standings, because we're not gonna know everything that's gonna go down. So Houston happens to end up having to play the Spurs. I think it being I think they would probably give the Rockets a good run, but I think the Rockets will end up pulling it out. They want to represent Texas. So, but San Antonio's gonna play them tough because it's gonna be a Texas thing. So that's one of those rivalries you have to really pay attention to because if you don't, you're gonna get a shocker up in here. So I think they're gonna play Houston tough if they end up with that seed, but I think Houston will still pull it off still. But it'll be tough, because they're not going to go down. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, you got to be careful with these rivalry games. Because these rivalry games will fool you.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so it is what it is. Got anything else before we go, kid folks?
No, man. That's it. That is it. Because I know you got to get up in the morning.
All right, most definitely. Well, this your boy, Jimmy J Smooth, live and direct in full effect out the 832 with my homeboy out the 662, and y'all already know how both of us do. Peace out. Y'all have a good night, and y'all enjoy the playoffs, man. So, and don't drink and drive, by the way. So
most definitely. And the pleasure was all yours.